God bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you from Embrace Marriage Ministries, and there'll be different podcasts. We thank God for you joining us tonight as we're trying to get this together and deal with the little roadblocks in the way. Well, God bless y'all. We hadn't been on here for a while. You can see why. We've been well, we miss everybody, and we pray that everybody is able to join us tonight. They can. If not, we're gonna go through this and get through. Um, we just thank God that this weekend is a Mother's Day weekend. For a lot of us, it is. For a lot of us, it's not a real good holiday for us. For a lot of us, because we either lost mothers through sickness or old age, or something happened tragically in our lives, and we have a tendency to not want to remember those times. But what we won't do, we don't want to remember the tragedies that happened. We want to remember the good times that you share with that person, because that's what's most important. The memories that we've shared is the memories that needs to be uh, put before our eyes and put before in our hearts, and that should be the important thing. But in either case, we are celebrating it for those that are still here, celebrating, of course, my wife's a mother, and we have daughters who are mothers, and then we do have spiritual mothers that we have, and so we thank God for each and every one that has took upon this great responsibility of being a mother to a child in any capacity, and because a lot of us we've had to raise children who are difficult, and some of us had to do it on our own. Now, let me say this. I want to say this up front, and some people might not want to hear this, but I have to say it, and I hope somebody catch this and comment on it or whatever. But I want to state something, um, because it was 1 year before we get into this. I want to clear the air with this, because a lot of people, because shortly behind that is Father's Day, okay? And so I want to say this, because I want for you single mothers, those that are raising your children by yourself, have been raising kids due to whatever situation you found yourself in, whether you had them before you were married, or you got married and then divorced and had children, and now you're single again and you're raising them by yourself, and you've been doing it for a long time and they're doing it for long periods of time, and they're older now or grown now, or whatever case might be. I've heard people say this, and this is not a biblical statement, nor is it a true statement. You know, I had to be both mother and father to my children. You can only be one or the other, unless you are, and I hate to say this in the wrong way, because like I said, a lot of people probably take this, unless you are transsexual, or you're hermaphrodite that has both sexes. You cannot be both at the same time. Those are two different roles, meant for two different genders, meant for two different responsibilities. Just be See, what we equate as fatherhood is me bringing in an income, and me making sure they got food in the house, and making sure they got bills paid, and making sure they got stuff for them to wear and things like that. You cannot equate that with fatherhood. That's part of the role of both parents. Both parents are responsible to bring in the sustenance and the resources needed to take care of that child. That's both of your responsibility. That does not make you a father because you do this. You cannot, if you're raising sons, it takes it he needs a strong, mature, wise man or men in his life. He doesn't need a thug in his life. He doesn't need a guy who's a shifty in his life. He doesn't need a guy because basically if the only male figures around him is the guys that's on the street and the guys that are gangsters and the guys that you run with and mess around with and come they you know, like when I was young, everybody was your uncle. Sleeping with your mom, but they your uncle. You know, y'all come from that. I come from that generation. So I want to say that because I know that's gonna come out in a lot of Facebook posts. And that's where I saw this on Facebook. I even had one of our own son call my wife on Father's Day, telling her Happy Father's Day. You must be an idiot. She said, I'm not. I'm not father. And so the anybody that he should have said it was me, because I had to put up with them for the years when I got with her. But he didn't understand that. And a lot of that's the world's thinking. That's the way they believe. They believe that because I do it both, I'm doing what both roles should have been. It should have been more than just to me. It should have been two people doing what I do. So since I'm doing the job, as they figure, of two people, then I should be just as honored as father and mother. No, you can only be on as mother because you're doing, all you're doing is doing the same role by yourself. You're not doing both roles.
No.
You cannot deal with your son and teach him how to be a man because you're not a man. See, you can teach your daughter how to be a daughter because you are a female. You cannot be in a female, teach your, and some might disagree with that. Or when I bred my son up and he turned out pretty good. Yeah, and some of them do. I grant to give you that. But I guarantee you, somewhere along the way, he had a male in his life that was encouraging to him, that mentored him, that pushed him. You were the catalyst. But you were not the maturing factor. I guarantee you had another man. It's like all these if you look at any of these sports documentaries about these guys that was raised by single mothers, and their mothers really encouraged them to do what they did, but they were not out there. They had a coach, or they had a scout, or they had some guy in their life that saw the potential in them and pulled that potential out of them. He had another guy, just like a woman. And yes, we do need a mother. We need mothers in our lives. We do. As men, we do that. We need that particular motherhood, that nurturing side of our life. But we also need that discipline. You may be able to whoop him and make him act right, but still he's gonna need a discipline of a man in his life. Not just any man, a real one. Because they got a lot of guys out here that are not real men, that are trying to do the role and they don't have the grace for it. They trying to get with women that have kids and they don't even take care of their own. I mean, so what sense is that? You get with somebody that and they mentor you and they don't have the skills to be a mentor, nor have they been mentored. If you get someone mentoring you that has never been mentored, or never been taken under the wing of another person and bring it under submission to another person and learn how to listen and learn how to walk as a man, if he's undisciplined, he's going to pass that undisciplinedness or his lack of discipline to your children. He's going to pass it to your son. Your son going to start acting like him because he's the only example he see. So, no, you are not both the mother and the father. You are a mother. And we thank you got to appreciate the fact that you are just that mother raising her children by yourself. And we commend you for that. My wife did it until she met me. And so I commend her for that. A lot of people can't do it. She got 5. So, and and now we got grandkids and great grandkids. Found out. So anyway, I'm gonna let that alone. But the whole thing is, and here's another thing, I guess that's gonna be, there's a difference between being able to have children and being a mother. Because if all your organs work right, you're able to reproduce a child. You're able to produce one, but that does not make you a mother. It just makes you be able to deliver a child. You become a mother, not because when you get to give birth. You become a mother when you start raising it and nurturing it and making sure that it is that their life is better than yours. Now, there are some mothers that the Bible's talking about how that the love of in these last days that the love of many they'll be without natural affection. The love of many will wax cold. When you can just when you can just go about and you can just kill your child,
Right.
and have no remorse about it. That's without natural affection. People killing children because of convenience, not because it's a danger to the life of the mother, or something going on where they have no choice but to do the abort, or is stillborn or whatever. No, because they don't want to have any more kids and they want to keep doing what they do. They go ahead and terminate it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could drop the hammer on a lot of this stuff because mothers, when it comes to that, it's a parenthood is not no mediocre job, and we've dealt with that and we still deal with that. But the thing is that what you have to realize is that God has a model.
Right.
See, this what we've been talking about now is just about mothers, it's about any woman, okay? But the woman that they mentioned in this proverb, this is Proverb 31, is a married woman, okay? You can be virtuous being single. You can do some of the things that this person does. This is now, mind you, this is not and my wife found this out too. This is not one woman. This is a culmination of many women. This is what God see. This is how Lemuel, which was the person that wrote this song, Lemuel saw his mother. His mother was that what he talked about. He was talking about his mom. He wasn't talking about nobody else. So we're gonna read this. And his mother was speaking in the beginning. And she told him some things, and then he basically I guess as a tribute or as an appreciation for what advice she gave him over the years, this is what he says. An excellent woman who could find. Now this is Proverbs 31. It's in the English Standard Version, so it's probably going to read different. She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of a husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good, not harm, all the days of his life. The first attribute of a virtuous woman is excellent. Actually, what it means, excellent, is that she honors her husband, and that she does him good and not evil all days of his life. She honors her husband. She honors her husband. She honors her husband, not nobody else's husband. Her husband.
Yes, because we have a lot of that.
We had a lot of that.
Yes.
We had cases where we had people who had more respect for their male pastor than their own husband.
Yeah.
And that's out of order. I'm sorry. I don't care if he is your pastor. If you married, unless like you single, that's different because he's a father figure to you. Like my wife, if she was single, our spiritual father, he's both our spiritual fathers. He was our spiritually like our natural father too.
Right.
So that's his daughter. This is his daughter here. And so, but when she got married, when you get the young woman gets married, or when a single woman gets married, she's no longer under the covering of her father. He releases her to her husband, and he becomes her head.
Right.
She switches hats. That's why she get a name change. She don't have her father's name anymore. She has her husband's name.
Yeah, the whole role changes.
And the whole role changes.
The whole role changes.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. You just don't become a wife when you say I do. You become a wife over time.
Yeah.
You're a bride. You're a bride at your wedding, but you're a wife in your lifetime. Yeah, somebody tweet that one.
It's a forever.
Yeah.
It's a process. I'll say it's a day-to-day process. You forever learning. You forever changing. You
Mm-hmm.
forever becoming.
Yeah. You
Oh,
forever.
yeah.
Same with a husband. It's not you
Yeah.
not become a husband, you know, as soon as you say I do and y'all consummate. That's not when you become a husband. You become a husband over time.
Yeah.
You know, you are a groom on your wedding day, but you're a husband on your lifetime.
Right.
And you become that. So the thing is, the first thing that a virtuous woman does is that she honors her husband. She does not. He doesn't lack gain. That means that doesn't go without.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't go without her caring for him. Doesn't go without her meeting his needs.
Right.
Doesn't go without. That's basically what he's saying.
That's,
She won't let him go out there without nothing.
that's true. And you see a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of women, and I see a lot of women.
Yeah.
Doing totally opposite
Mm-hmm.
of what the Word of God says.
Yeah.
You see some. I mean, they could care less. I work with men,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear and I see men
Mm-hmm.
going to work. They don't have no lunch. They don't have no food. They don't have no money or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but their wife makes all the groceries and do, you know. And I know everybody's household is different.
Yeah.
But I can only just speak of me as a wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before my husband go to work, I'm going to make sure he has something for breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to have something for lunch,
Yeah.
and that his uniforms, he gonna have, you know, clean clothes. His needs are going to be met.
Mm-hmm.
He's not finna go to work, bombing and begging for something for lunch.
No.
You know, I'm going to see to it that he have,
Yeah.
you know, what he needs.
Yeah.
So that makes me as a wife look good, you know, because they don't see my husband going around the job, you know, hey, you got $5-10, I need to give me something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
something for lunch. That's gonna make him look, you know, Lord, you know, they gonna question that.
Yeah.
They people gonna question it. You don't never have no lunch money. You don't never have nothing to eat. You know.
That's right.
And I'm like, and I look at, you know, when I see men like that, I'm like, well, what's the deal with your wife?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why your wife won't make sure that you have some clean clothes and that you have some food to eat when you come to work, or even when you get home from work. Why, you know, you don't have no food to eat. And I done heard this one man, him and his wife divorced. You know, me and my husband, we both know him. And he said that his wife just don't do.
Yeah.
That was what he told me.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, I said, well, why are y'all separated and why y'all, you know, filing for a divorce? He said, because my wife just don't do. He said she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't see to his needs.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's what he said. He said she does nothing. He say he goes to work. He say now when he get paid, she want money. She want all his money. She expect him to do his part, you know, to provide money and a roof over her head. But he said, but she don't do anything.
That's right.
So she, you know, like the word of God, what he just read, she don't. So
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, no, it have to be, yeah, it have to be fair. Now, like I say, everybody is different.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
some men prefer to wash their own clothes.
Yeah, because
But some women don't know how to wash clothes.
Yeah.
And some men prefer to cook their own food. That's
Yeah.
between you and yours.
Yeah.
But because some women don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
But what you know how to do, do.
That's right.
Do what you know how to do, and do it in an honorable and a respectable manner. Because I remember the times when you know, every time, you know, I was grudge holding, and I would cook. You know, like I say, because I would cook his food,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't do it in love. I wouldn't do it in honorable. You know, I'd be like, here, you know, I cooked or something. You know, just bring it in. People can feel all that. You know, you ain't bringing the
Yeah.
food to them in love, and ain't cooking it in love. And you know, that's not honorable. You know, I'm.
No, it because like I say, everything we got to do,
It
say
has to
let all things be done through or in love.
Yeah.
But the thing now, there's only 2 times that he mentions her husband in the whole chapter, which was that one in verse. Well, 3 times. The first, the 11th verse, the 12th verse. And then it says that talks about her husband being in the gate. let's see. He sits among the elders of the city. Yeah. 23. A husband is known to gate when he sits among the elders of the land. So that's only a time he mentions him. Now, and that's going to be explanation. That's why he's in that position. So, because that's one of the things that's a tag of a virtuous woman is that she respects her husband and she makes sure that he's not lacking in any area.
Right.
Oh, the second thing is this area she seeks wool and flask and works with willing hands. She's like the ships of merchants. She brings the food from afar. She rises while it is yet night, provides for food for her household, portions for her maids. Now, that means she know how to take care of a house.
Right.
Here's the thing. Now, and that was one of the things when I was single. That was one of the things that I looked at when I met a woman. How does she take care of her house? If I go in her house and I had to kick through it, that was a deal breaker for me. Because I didn't come from her. Because my mom made me clean up the house. And so she was a clean person. My mom was a clean person. She never had a dirty house. And she taught us to be, neat. My brother, that, Jerry, he's different. But me, on the other hand, it kind of passed for me. My wife tell you, I'm like, I'm not a neat freak. I'm better than I used to be. I used to be worse than that. But I like things in order because I have a tendency to not remember where the stuff go. So I do it for the sake of remembering. Because if I put something somewhere, I put it usually to the same place all the time. But a lot of times I'll decide to put it somewhere and then I ask her, "Man, you move such and such." It's like she did it. And I'm the one put it there. But, but that's just the way I am for that. But I do like to when she's at work and I'm off, I'm in here by myself. And once I get through, before I even started my stream and stuff, I clean up because it ain't but a room. So I clean up and make sure that dishes are washed because she gonna do because she do this for a living. So the least I can do is to be there to help her, So it'd be easy. All she had to do is come home and she cook and we can eat and we can spend time and watch TV and fall asleep on Star Trek. That's pretty much how nights go.
That's how we do.
Yeah, because when we get through with this, guess what we gonna do? Watch Star Trek, go sleep. It's a habit now, man. It's what we do. When I take my meds, I'm waiting for them to kick in, so I'm watching 2-3 episodes. What's up, man? Pizza. What's up, Bill? Oh Lord, they got crazy up. Pizza. What's the pizza thing? Y'all gotta tell me what's pizza. So anyway, like I said, man, it is crazy how that. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that is part of the virtuous woman thing. You cannot be virtuous and dishonorable to your husband or dishonorable to your mate. You can't.
Yeah, because you have.
Pizza's good. Yes, it is.
Because you do have to do everything. It should be done in love. To be the most respectable thing that you can do, the most honorable thing you can do is to do it.
Yeah.
In love and make sure that it's heartfelt.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want nothing. I mean, that's how I am. Now, if my husband tell me that he love me, don't just come say, well, I love you, babe.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. Now, if he really say it, and if it's coming from the heart, he just not just saying it just to be saying it, or because he always esteems, make sure he tell me I'm beautiful, I'm cute, or whatever. But if a person is saying it just to be saying it, and if they saying it from the heart, so each time he said, I know because it's heartfelt.
Yeah.
And anything that we do as women, that it should be heartfelt and it should be in love, because he's gonna know if I'm just saying, just throwing out words with nothing, to it.
Yeah.
And especially, action speaks louder than words.
That's right.
Sometimes if I don't say it and I do it, he can still feel the love. He can still feel the honor and respect. But if I'm just doing it, my face twisted, And I'm been looking like I'm been sucking on sour lemons,
Yeah.
and then coming with this attitude. No, you know, that's not, that's dishonorable.
That's right.
I wouldn't want nobody come. No, you keep that.
Yeah.
So we should, as women, wives, or engaged, whatever you are, you know, we should treat our husbands with honor and respect, and we should make sure, you know, like I said earlier, whatever you can do, like I said, because each household is different. So everybody, we don't expect everybody to run their household like we do
No.
and do everything. Because I always tell people, do what works for you.
Yeah.
Because what worked for me and Barry might not work in your household. Because you might be the type that don't wash. You don't wash dishes like me. I don't care to wash dishes. Now you might be the wife that love to wash the dishes.
Or got a dishwasher.
Or got a dishwasher. So this, well, you know, you have to do
Yeah.
what works for you, but make
Yeah.
sure that you are caring for the needs of your husband.
Yeah. But the second thing is that not only she deal with the husband, that she takes care of the house
Right.
and she takes care of family.
That's it.
The second, the next, so the
Yeah,
next thing is.
Okay, on that, I like to expound on that one.
Go ahead.
You know, take care of the, you know, the needs of the house. Now we have, like I said, I done met a whole lot of women growing up as a child, teenager, young woman, young adult, all ages and stages of life. And I done went to a lot of women houses. And
Me too.
and you know, I'm like, you know what? This don't make no sense.
Yeah, it don't.
This really don't make no sense, because I used to go to this lady's house, and every time I would go to her house, she would always say, "Oh, you got to excuse the house."
Excuse the house.
Every single time I go, you know, you have to excuse the house. I mean, it was like clothes would be all over the floor, roaches crawling everywhere, food, and I mean, look like they just go to restaurants and fast food and just throw the bag down, and mold and mildew all in the kitchen sink with the dishes fuzz coming out of them. The tub is nasty. You got clothes all. I mean, from when I kid you not, I done been in a lot of nasty women houses. I mean, you have to kick your way through and climb over clothes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you got to excuse the house. I'm like, look, I done excused your house the last 20 times I done walked through your door. When, you know, when are you going to put a broom and a mop to something? No, I mean, come on now. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't have to excuse your house every time I come.
No.
No, you just outright nasty. You know, excuse the house my foot.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, you need to
about
do
that.
something about that. You
Yeah.
know, that. I'm like, no. So a lot of these women, you know, you don't clean your house, and you don't cook. Some of y'all don't even take a bath on the regular. I'm just gonna shoot that out there too. You need, you know, you need to bathe. You take a bath. Take care of your hygiene, and yeah, as a woman, as a wife, you
Yeah.
need to do these things. It's necessary. It's very necessary that you know that you take care of yourself, your body,
That's right.
and your house
Yeah.
as a wife, a woman. Period. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox. Go ahead.
All right. Now the other one is still, the rest of it is still talking about her industrial side as far as how she handles business. Says she sits the fields and buys with the fruit of her hand. She plants a vineyard. She plants herself with strength, dresses herself with strength, and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands for the distaff and her hand to hold the spindle. Distaff and the spindle is basically a device used to spin yarn. That's what it is. It's to make yarn so you could be able to make clothes. That's what it does. So basically, she's a entrepreneur.
Right.
She takes care of her body, therefore she exercises. She perceives that merchandise is profitable, so yes, she takes care of herself mentally and physically, and she financially she's wise with her finances. Because the next day she says she opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hand to the needy. She's not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household clothes is scarlet. Scarlet is pretty expensive garment. So now here's the thing. Let me read the rest of it. The rest of that particular thing. She makes her bed coverings for herself, and her clothing is fine linen and purple. So she ain't cheap.
No.
See, so she knows what is valuable, and she takes notice of value. She's a, as they like a lot of word uses, classy woman. She dresses nice. She knows how to take care of her finances. She knows how to take care of business. She doesn't go walking around looking for a handout. If she don't have a job, she gonna create one. She uses her talents to be able to bring, and I would say she considers with her talents, when it says here she perceived her merchandise is profitable. So that's, her merchandise is her talent, her abilities, her God-given gifts that she has given her to be able to do and to produce income in her household.
Right.
So she doesn't go around trying to find her a sugar daddy, or try to find her a financier.
Right.
She go out and try to get it on her own.
That's
She
it.
hustles on her own. She don't have to go and try to find someone to help her get over or get through it. She gonna make a way to get through it.
That's it.
And that's the type of woman that, and she's wise with how she handles her. She's a generous. She's wise, because he says that she says here that she's ginger face. No, not here. Let's see. Says that she gives, say her husband, this is the next one. Say her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the people. And the reason why I said that this was a different one, because what she does, she pushes him to be the best. A virtuous woman pushes her husband to be the best. She doesn't stand behind him, she stands beside him. She's a partner in his life. She helps him to reach his full potential. She helps him to fulfill the call that God has called him to do, without sacrificing her own identity. Because as you can see, she already has one. She already has an identity, being the person who she is, and by her being submissive to her husband and to help him to get to the place where he needs to be, so that he may be, when they say it's talking about in the gate, that means he's a serious official. When a person would stand in the gate, that means they were like, it's like compared to you, I know. And so just compared to your councilman or your judges or somebody that's up there in top notch, you know. So the thing is that a true wife, a true mate will push that man to his full potential. She'll make sure that he reaches dreams. She'll help him.
Right.
She'll help him without sacrificing her own dreams and without sacrificing who she is as a person.
Right.
See, that's where I think a lot of wives make the mistake.
Lose
babe.
their identity.
They
Right.
lose their identity because they're so focused on making him great,
Right.
that they cease to be great themselves.
Exactly.
Because what they don't realize is that they have their own sense of greatness, and it does not take away from them helping him get great, because you already have your own identity,
Right.
and you don't want to lose that just being,
Yeah.
Barry's wife.
That's it.
She don't want to lose. That's Thanks for the follow,
Follow.
man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he don't want to lose that, being just bad. Sinister Tuba. Now that's a name right there, Sinister Tuba. Thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
And
A
mix.
lot of time that can't happen because we can focus so much on being a wife, being a mom, till that's all we know is just to send to that, that I'll just see to it that Barry needs is met, and make sure that your dreams and your goals that you have, and like, so I'm just doing this all for you, and then I'm like, okay, well, I have dreams and I have goals too,
Yeah.
and especially if they not being married,
Yeah.
now some things are together, like this is that something that we do together, so this is a dream, this is something that God gave him for us to do,
Yeah.
and he wanted me to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it easy, that it's all one and the same, that we're doing it together. Because at one time, like I said, I wasn't involved in it. So I was just making sure that this was your dream, that it
Mm-hmm.
was coming, trying to help you to do it. But then I was, losing myself
Yeah.
and what I want to do. And so now I say, well, okay. And then I got a desire to do it,
Mm-hmm.
with you. So
Yeah.
which it makes it easy when it's together.
Mm-hmm.
But some things is not,
That's right.
and you will lose your identity because at one time I was just trying to just make sure that you had
Mm-hmm.
and your wants and your needs and your desires, and I just left myself out,
Yeah.
and then I was miserable in the process.
That's right. You will
I,
be.
yeah, you would be miserable.
Mm-hmm. Because because each of us, God has given each of us a purpose and a goal that He has for us to fulfill in our life. That's why He give you the talents, the abilities that you have. That's why He give you the mind and thinking that you have. Not because it's just happenstance. It's just because this is what God designed for you to have.
Right.
He doesn't. He want. There's a planned goal for you. He said, I know my plans are to have for you, plans for good and not for evil, that you may have a future and an expected end.
Right.
So there is a purpose and a plan that God has set for each and every one of us. We have to find out what it is, of course.
That's
But
it.
what it is that each of us, especially when you become a couple, each of you have individual goals. But what it is that God wanted to be congruent
Right.
to His original goal. His original goal for us as a couple is to manifest through our relationship, how Christ is the church with the church, and how God was with His Israel. So, but our individual goals are parallel to that. So there is a submission of wills, and there's submission of goals, and there is a submission of wills to Him, so that He can bring it all together, and we take each of our talents, each of our abilities, combine them, and we'll still fulfill each other's individual goals, but we'll do it together because we have help. There's scripture for that.
Right.
Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is the one we read. A lot of these people read this when it comes to this is about partnerships, but there'll be a good one for marriage as well. Says here, see if I find it right quick, so I won't lose it. See, this is what happens when you look at a new Bible, and it look different. Let's see. I ain't quote it, but I want to quote it because I want to read it in the translation so that y'all can get an idea of what it is. But the thing is, what it is, he says here that it was two is better than one, for they have a great. Okay, I found it. Two are better than one. Yeah, it's four. It's Ecclesiastes 4:9. It says two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls, and has not another to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, they keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Now, so it talks about how that if one person falls, the other can lift them up. So if you go into a place where you're down, this person can come along, this same woman can come along and lift her husband up.
Right.
Because even Proverbs 14:1 says that talks about the wise of women build a house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. So you can tear a foolish woman to tear it down with her hands,
Right.
but a wise woman will build a house. So So one thing that we have to realize is that God is in the business of using what you have. Like she say, what you got, use that.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to cook, learn. There's so many YouTube videos. There's ways that you can go and get pre-mixed recipes or different things like that. You know, some men have different types of tastes. You just have to experiment. My wife experimented on me a few times to see
Yeah.
if I could eat certain things. So
Right.
she knew what I could not eat, so she just cooked what I could
Yeah.
and just did it different than what I was accustomed to. She would try different things, and she even would say, "No, I don't like that." She say she don't like it, then it ain't good. So you know, we all worst critic. And my wife, she critiques herself real hard when it comes to cooking because she's a good cook, but she learned how, and she learned from young to how to cook, and she had to do this because her mother was going to be the Lord, just like mine. She had to learn how to do that because she was mentally she was mental.
Yeah.
She was mentally disabled, and she would have these times where she just could not function,
Right.
and so her and her sister had to learn how to take care of brothers and sisters.
Yeah. At a young age.
Yeah, at a
We
young
learned
age.
We knew how to cook holiday meals
Yeah,
at a real young age. Big
The whole
meals.
deal,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and like I said earlier, you might not that might not be for you. It might
Yeah.
not be your thing.
hmm
But as a woman, a wife, what you do, like I say, do something.
Yeah.
Just don't do.
Yeah.
Like the young man had told us, he said his wife just don't do. And she knew how to cook and she knew how to do all these things, but she wouldn't. She just
She-
refused to.
Yeah. See, that's
know.
different if you don't know how,
Just it.
but if you do and refuse to,
Yeah.
that's the crime.
She refused
Yeah.
to make sure that her husband's needs were taken care of. I mean, this man working doubles,
Yeah.
and he would come home to nothing to eat, clothes wouldn't wash, nothing. I mean, just nothing. So I mean, he had just gotten fed up to the point where he just wanted out, and I'm pretty sure it could have been worked out, but
Yeah.
she just refused it.
Yeah.
So on that note, I'm like, and it might not be your thing.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of women, they don't like to wash clothes. And then I had one woman tell me, well, my husband, he washes his own clothes. Well, that's your household. That's how y'all run it.
Yeah.
And if that's what work for you, do it. So this do what work, but just make sure that, I like to say it like this. Make sure you're pulling your load.
Yeah.
Pull your load, pull your fair share. So like I say, my husband, he washes the dishes. I wash the clothes. And we both do our share. I buy the groceries. And
I eat them.
I cook them, he eat them. Yeah, and then
No, I do
he
take it out.
he takes all the bags out the car. He brings them in.
Yeah.
So I mean, we pull our weight, and we both carry our load in the marriage. It's not one sided where, cause you can feel that difference when one person is doing everything,
Yeah.
and then the other one is not doing anything. You can feel that unbalance.
Inequality.
Yeah, you could you feel that and that's not good. When you have one spouse, working 2-3 jobs, trying to, because you might have somebody that don't want to work.
Yeah.
I've seen women work and the man stay home. And I mean, the woman look beat up, she look tired, and the guy, he's at home and not even trying to look for work, lying, saying that he is. And I mean, that woman, she just beat down. And vice versa. I done see men working 2-3 jobs and the woman stay home and she's not trying to carry her load.
Yeah.
And could work and able to and just refuse to.
Yeah.
But like I say, but that's your household. Now, as for me, I'm not finna let my husband go work no 2-3 jobs.
No.
I'm not.
I never done it and I ain't finna start.
And because number one, I manage our money to the best of my abilities and the best of my knowledge.
She better at it than me.
Yeah, so that we can have the things that we need.
Yeah.
So I don't just go out spending money just to be spending it because we have it to spare to spend. So no, I don't just be blowing money and just shopping till I drop. And I don't do that. So I make sure that I manage the money in a wise manner.
Yeah.
That we can have, things that we need.
That's right.
And And so I'm gonna get out that soapbox because I can go on and on.
Yeah, but we won't bring this to a
Yeah, I know.
close. we can pick
Pick it
it
up.
up
Yeah.
on tomorrow. I'm gonna stop at verse 24. Because verse 24 through 31 we can probably do on tomorrow. Because like I said, we had a lot to talk about tonight, and that's a good thing. Uh, we did have chapter, and we talked about a lot of different things. But I wanted to share that in the beginning because a lot of people are going to say that, and I don't want you to look stupid when I tell you that that's not the truth. There is no biblical basis of you. Um, there's no biblical basis you being mother and father just because you don't have a husband anymore. That's foolishness. Um, you only be the best mother that you can be to that child, but he still just pray that God will put a, a mentor in his life, someone that can bring him under his wing and bring him into a place, preferably another male that's a trustworthy male. It's hard to find them these days, because a lot of these guys ain't touching boys. So you got, you know, But if he's in sports and he has a real good coach that's willing to take him under his wing, or if he has a now here's the thing: if you're single, and you're dating, um, and you have kids, you want to make sure, and then we're gonna do a whole another thing on that, talking about singleness, and we're gonna use my wife as a example of that because she been through that. But we learned about how to really know that this is the person that you want in your life. And I mentioned it earlier that if that guy doesn't take care of his own kids, you don't want him taking around your kids because what he's gonna do is you pass that lack of discipline and the irresponsibility onto your children, and they'll start acting like that because they're gonna only reflect what has been seen.
Exactly.
If he's walking around with his pants down under his butt, and he don't have shirts on, he got tattoos. Guess what your son gonna have? No shirt, tattoos with his pants around his butt. You know why? Because he's the only one seeing him do that.
Exactly.
He's the only one. He don't see him as a decent man dressing up. That's and they're going to follow the one that's closer to them they admire because they don't have anybody in their life. Because if their father's not involved in their life, you got to get someone in their life. He has an uncle that's or a grandfather that's really a wise one, and I ain't talking about no drifter. We don't know Rolling Stone mentoring your son. You gonna tell him how to get women, and you don't want that.
No,
You gonna tell him he don't. Because they figure a man proves his manhood by how many women he sleep with. That's just a quick way to get you venereal disease and AIDS. That's a quick way to get there and get a bunch of kids you don't need. That's a quick way to doing that.
Exactly.
That's what that proves. That proves that you're an idiot and you want to pay child support for all the rest of your life, because that's what's gonna happen. So the thing is that on this Mother's Day, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna continue talking about this tomorrow. We're gonna try to keep up with these podcasts. We come up with a game plan now. Because usually when we come home, we don't set this stuff up, and if we do, it's going to give us the motivation to go ahead and, hey, let's knock 2 or 3 of them out.
Yeah.
We may just start by getting back into it by doing them like 2 or 3 a week until we build back up to our 5. So we might not do them like 5 days straight, but we'll do at least 2 or 3 a week. And then once we see we got the schedule down, then we can build it back up to 5, and we'll do 5 podcasts a week. And but we'll start off with what we doing now, a couple of them. We'll jump our days. We won't do them on the same day. Whatever's a good day, we have a good subject, we'll just pop on there and say, hey, we're gonna talk about this. So we're gonna keep them within the frame though. Like usually, this is usually our time when we do our Dare to Be Different podcast, because we do them. Actually, we do them that on Fridays, and so we'll do another one tomorrow. But usually Monday through Thursday we do Embracing Marriage, a podcast. We got two. So, if you're looking at us on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If you're looking at us Periscope, hit us with some hearts. Let us know what you thought. Thank God for the follow and Mixer from Sinister Tuba. Thank God for the other ones that come in and say they like pizza.
We do too.
Yeah, we like
We do
pizza too.
We love.
I can't eat it like I used to, but I like the top of the pizza.
Yeah.
I can't even eat the bread anymore. I'm that keto diet. You can't eat bread. So, but we thank God for them coming through. We thank God for everything. If you're looking at us also on Mixer and also on Twitch, hit us with a follow, as these great gentlemen and women did. We are trying to get some more subscribers on YouTube. I want to. We're trying to reach. We're gonna get a goal. We're trying to reach 100 of them. Just start off 100.
Yeah.
We way from 100, but we want to get 100. You don't have to constantly follow us to know what's going on. You have to hit on notifications. Just hit us on a follow. If you want to follow us though and know every time that we come on, hit the bell and they'll give us a notification letting you know, give you a notification letting you know that we're coming on the air, or we've already posted one online. So we usually do this, like I say, tonight. It's already up because I'm doing a live stream. So you'll see it tonight. The podcast, which we do, is on Spotify. So if you have Spotify or if you have Google Play, you can go there and you can check them out there. We hadn't got a chance to get on anything else but those two, and Stitcher Radio, which I think I can't get rid of it, so it's going to be on there anyway. But I'm mainly using Spotify because a lot of people do. We're trying to get on different ones. We're not trying to get too many different places because we don't want people to get overwhelmed. But the main place I want you to go to embracingmarriagetogether.com. That's our website. You can go there and they'll show you every platform we're at. They'll give you links to them. We'll also give you different things. We're starting to put, I do a thing on my job called Words of Encouragement. I'm starting to put them up there. My wife gonna do something for Mother's Day. Every holiday she'll do a post for the holidays. We're gonna put a link to this on there where we got it hosted at, so you can be able to go there and check it out. If you don't happen to know how to, if you want to download an audio version of this instead of looking at the video, you can go there to embracingmarriagetogether.com, and the link will be there in the post. Just embracingmarriagetogether.com/post. Also, you can, if you want to contact us, you can go to that same website, embracingmarriagetogether.com/contact, and you can be able to send us a message and we'll get it. It comes as an email, and if you have any prayer requests, you want to get it prayed for, anything, send it to us. We'll get it and pray for you. We pray every morning for everybody in our families, and we'll add you to the list. So we thank God for you, and let my wife say her last words.
And remember, ladies, that we are made in the image of God and in his likeness, and that you are a virtuous woman. And I would want to encourage you to embrace God, embrace love, embrace marriage, embrace family, and embrace gaming, and dare to be different.
She's doing too much, but thank God for
Yeah, I'm just doing the most. I'm just doing the most.
God bless y'all. We'll see y'all on the next.
And y'all have a good night.
Right.